Mr. Dorian Branea, the director of the Romanian Cultural Institute in New York, whom we featured in previous years with regards to the hybrid cultural diplomacy that is now an established feature of our presence here in the United States. Mr. Branea?
Yep. Good afternoon. Thank you, Theo, for inviting me to this conference. It's not the first time that I attend, and I'm always eager to attend, and I'm always looking forward for the next one. I'd like to begin by congratulating you and your colleagues for putting this conference together year after year, and not only doing this kind of events, but many other events. It's definitely a model of how Romanian Americans can become very active, very involved, very impactful in the American society and in American public life. I don't have much to add after President Liviu Jicman. We are all very happy that he was elected at the top job of cultural diplomacy in the European Union. We have this procedure that you are elected vice president, and then after some while, in his case, shorter, not a year, but shorter due to some procedure gaps, you become president. Mr. Jicman will take over, as you rightly pointed out, Theo, in June 2024. So he's the second Romanian who holds this job as the president of the network, bringing together all national cultural institutes of the European Union. So the Germans, the French, the Polish, the Czechs, the Spanish, the Italians, all countries that have cultural institutes form this association that works to more than 160 clusters. We have a cluster here in New York. There is a cluster in Washington. There is another one in Los Angeles. So more than 160 clusters doing projects together, meeting regularly, transferring information, and it's a big deal. It's really a big deal because it's a huge network, it's an influential network, and it's quite an honor for Romania and for the Romanian Cultural Institute to chair for 1 year in 2004, 2005. To chair the network, and I think it can be beneficial for the way we project our values and our culture in the world. At the same time, it's important to note that we have every cluster has a chair, a leadership, and we have colleagues that have chaired or are currently chairing various clusters of UNIC, of this association in major capital in the world. We were very proud to chair the New York cluster, which is probably the biggest in the world. Everything is the biggest here in the United States. So with numerous partners and numerous organizations. So we chaired it. I chaired it during a very difficult time during the pandemic in 2022. But other colleagues are the presidents of UNIC London, UNIC Warsaw, and in other parts of the world. Just briefly, I want to touch upon a very important point that I think is crucial to our work. I'd like to stress the fact that we put in the center of our approach, at the core of our activity, the idea of partnership, of collaboration. This is a message that I haven't grown tired sending every time I have the opportunity to take the floor, and I'm very, very happy to come before you, a distinguished group of professionals, of very influential Romanian Americans, that really make a difference in the United States and are doing wonderful jobs, wonderful things here. So partnership and collaboration. We work on a partnership system that has several concentric circles. At the very core of this system lies the partnership between the Romanian Cultural Institute in New York and the Romanian Embassy in Washington, D.C. And I'm sure many have come to our events. We have worked synergically for the past 2 years, and I think it's a testament of the importance Ambassador Muraru places on cultural diplomacy and public diplomacy. And we, as a specialized mission of Romania, a specialized diplomatic mission doing exclusively cultural and public diplomacy, of course, have been called to design, together with our colleagues in the embassy, several programs, and I think they have very, very successful and very impactful and very big, and I'm going to talk a little bit about, give you one example to illustrate how we work. So this is at the core of our work. Then we work closely. Then this is the second tier, the second concentric circle, the second tier of partnerships is formed by the general consulate and honorary consulate or generally consulates here in the United States. We have to cover an entire subcontinent. It's a huge, awesome, overwhelming task. So it is absolutely impossible to do it by yourself. It's totally impossible. And also in the second tier, along with the general consulates, and we have that in New York, of course, obviously, in Chicago, in Miami, in LA, and general consulate, honorary consulates that are, many of them, extraordinarily active and doing an admirable work. Together with them, plus, and now I'm coming closer to where we are this afternoon, and I told you, Theo, that I would come back to this idea, to some of the most active organizations of Romanian Americans. And evidently, I'm counting the Immigration Research Forum as one of the most active organizations, but there are also the Romanians of DC, HORA, FORA, ROCO in Chicago, Romanian Community Center in Chicago, RUF, and I see Mihai here, and also the Heron, the Blue Heron Foundation in Los Angeles, and I think Stefania Magidson is going to join us, or has joined us already. Is going to speak later. And I've just mentioned some of the very strong, very active Romanian American organizations that constitute for us, this, together with the general consulates and the honorary consulates, the second tier of partnership. And thirdly, of course, we put a lot of emphasis on partners with American organization. This is how we work with these partners, putting resources, ideas, energies together in order to succeed creating something interesting. And I think a beautiful example is the recent historical, I would say, Madrigal choir tour in the United States. After 35 years, this mighty choir, this wonderful choir, has returned to the United States. But this was, we believe, the biggest cultural diplomacy program in living memory by many indicators. But this was the work not of the embassy, not of the Cultural Institute alone, but also it was the success of a very, very strong partnership. We worked with, of course, the embassy and the RCI in New York created the design of the organization, the tour, together with the choir. But then we worked closely with our general consulate. We worked with our partners, and especially in the civic sphere, especially with the ROCO Chicago, that was instrumental in dealing with the Chicago leg of the tour, and with the American Romanian Cultural Society, another very powerful and active Romanian American society, organization. So only coming together did we manage to create such an historical event. Of course, and many other private entities that have supported financially the tour. So this is our idea that is towering our, and it's guiding, the guiding principle of our work. And again, I'd like to end by inviting all of you to come to us with ideas, with propositions. You know, and I see many friends and many collaborators who have been part of our project, and we've been working with them. To come forth with ideas. We will always find time to review them and hopefully to create projects together. Again, congratulations, Theo. Thank you very much for attention. In a couple of hours, we have an event, our final event for this year, the Christmas party, the Christmas party, a concert, followed by a sweet surprise. So if you are in New York, maybe we can see in a couple of hours at the Institute. If no, I'm afraid I gotta go back to the preparation of this event that crowns, so to speak, a very rich program of events in 2023. Thank you.
Good luck with the upcoming event. Also, we won't be forgiven if we miss mentioning Bucharest Inside the Beltway, and over the last years, how you've featured many of our Romanian American writers on the Cultural Institute's platform. And initially, if I remember years ago, we were complaining that there isn't a formed readership for Romanian American writers, and about the volume and how that might not be attractive for publishing houses. And yet, every time we organized the book stands at the wharf here in Washington, D.C., the books flew off the shelf.
Yeah. No, you're right, Theo. Christina Bejan in Bucharest, inside the Beltway. Of course, this is one of the, this powerful organization doing a lot of stuff. Yeah. Thank you for bringing it up.
And we really appreciate it's such a wonderful complementarity in everything that we did together. It's a great working relationship. Thank you, Doro, for your support.
Thank you, Theo.
I would